Hello everyone, welcome to Winners English. I brought the exactly same article that we covered last time. Today, I just want to focus on reading this article out loudly. The title is US health officials seek to phase out artificial dyes from food supply. Washington AP. US health officials on Tuesday said they would urge food makers to phase out petroleum-based artificial colors in the nation's food supply, but stopped short of promising a formal ban and offered few specifics on how they intend to achieve the sweeping change. Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Marty McCurry said at a news conference that the agency would take steps to eliminate synthetic dyes by the end of 2026, largely by relying on voluntary efforts from the food industry. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who joined the gathering, said he had heard from food manufacturers but had no formal agreement with them. "We don't have an agreement, we have an understanding," Kennedy said. The official said the FDA would establish a standard and timeline for industry to switch to natural alternatives, revoke authorizations for dyes not in production within coming weeks, and take action to remove remaining dyes on the market. Today, the FDA is asking food companies to substitute petrochemical dyes with natural ingredients for American children, as they already do in Europe and Canada, McCurry said. The proposed move is aimed at boosting children's health, he added. For the last 50 years, we have been running one of the largest uncontrolled scientific experiments in the world on our nation's children without their consents, he said. The process to revoke approved additives from the food supply typically takes several years and requires public comments, agency review, and final rulemaking procedures. Industry groups said the chemicals are safe and suggested they would try to negotiate with regulators to keep them available. FDA and regulatory bodies around the world have deemed our products and ingredients safe, and we look forward to working with the Trump administration and Congress on this issue, said Christopher Ginsberger, spokesman for the National Confectioners Association. "We are in firm agreement that science-based evaluation of food additives will help eliminate consumer confusion and rebuild trust in our national food safety system. Health advocates have long called for the removal of artificial dyes from foods, citing mixed studies indicating they can cause neurobehavioral problems, including hyperactivity and attention issues in some children. The FDA has maintained that the approved dyes are safe, and that the totality of scientific evidence shows that most children have no adverse effects when consuming foods containing color additives. The FDA currently allows 36 food color additives, including 8 synthetic dyes. In January, the agency announced that the dyes known as Red 3 used in candies and cakes, some medications, would be banned in food by 2027 because it caused cancer in laboratory rats. Artificial dyes are used widely in US foods. In Canada and in Europe, where synthetic colors are required to carry warning labels, manufacturers mostly use natural substitutes. Several states, including California and West Virginia, have passed laws restricting the use of artificial colors in foods. The announcement drew praise from advocates who say the dyes carry health risks and serve no purpose beyond the cosmetic. "Their only purpose is to make food companies money," said Dr. Peter Rory, president of Center for Science in Public Interest, and a former FDA official. Food dyes help make ultra-processed foods more attractive, especially to children, often by masking the absence of colorful ingredients like fruits. Removing artificial dyes from foods has long been a goal for so-called Mahamams, key supporters of Kennedy and his Make America Healthy Again initiatives. They were among protesters who signed petitions and rallied outside the Michigan headquarters of W.K. Kellogg Corporation last year, demanding the company remove artificial dyes from its breakfast cereals in the U.S. Health officials insist that food makers wanted clarity on the issue and were receptive to the changes, but the response from the industry groups was mixed. Consumer Brand Association, a trade group for food manufacturers, said it had long asked the FDA to assert its authority to regulate food at a national level rather than leaving it to a patchwork of state laws. But in a statement, the group also urged the FDA officials to prioritize research that is objective, peer-reviewed, and relevant to human health and safety. It added that the ingredients in question have been rigorously studied and demonstrated to be safe. Hours before the announcement, the International Dairy Food Association said its members would voluntarily eliminate artificial colors in milk, cheese, and yogurt products sold to U.S. school meal programs by July 2026. Other industry groups didn't pledge any quick changes. The International Association of Color Manufacturers said requiring reformulation in less than 2 years ignores scientific evidence and underestimates the complexity of food production. This process is neither simple nor immediate, and the resulting supply disruption will limit access to familiar, affordable grocery items. Removing dyes from the food supply will not address the cheap health problems that plague Americans, said Susan Main, a Yale University chronic disease expert and former director of FDA Food Center. With every one of their announcements, they are focusing on something that is not going to accomplish what they say it is, Main said of Kennedy initiatives. Most of these food dyes have been in our food supply for 100 years, so why aren't they driving toward reduction in things that do drive chronic disease rates? In the past, FDA officials said the threat of legal action from the food industry required the government to have significant scientific evidence before banning additives. Red 3 was banned from cosmetics more than 3 decades before it was stripped from food and medicine. It took 5 decades for the FDA to ban brominate vegetable oils because of health concerns. Some of the states' law banning synthetic dyes in school meals have aggressive timelines. West Virginia ban, for example, prohibits red, yellow, blue, and green artificial dyes in school meals starting August 1st. A broader ban will extend the restrictions to all food sold in the states on January 1st, 2028. Many U.S. food companies are already reformulating their foods according to Sensient Colors, one of the world's largest producers of food dyes and flavorings. In place of synthetic dyes, food makers can use natural hues made from beets, algae, and crushed insects, and pigments from purple sweet potatoes, radishes, and red cabbage. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.